Hello. Happy Wednesday. I saw a cute meme this morning from Holly Red Fox that said, Happy Christmas Eve, Eve. I thought that was really cute. Um, Thank you to everybody who was very kind and empathic and um, who gave me good wishes yesterday when I had a migraine. I'm feeling much better today. I think I'm on the other side of it. At least the worst of it's over, and I'm looking forward to being done with that. You know, one of the phenomena that comes along with migraine is that it'll happen when you're really stressed, but it'll also happen when you begin to relax. It's both. And so, you know, it's just can be so frustrating when you're like, finally, things are settling in. I'm able to relax here. And then it comes on. So, anyway, thank you so much for being understanding about it. And let's dive into today's practice. I definitely needed a rose quartz kind of day yesterday for sure. And you all gave me a rose quartz day with your kind wishes. I spent several hours this morning at the Dear Mother's altar. I was up at 4, being with her. When the dear mother ascends the mountain, victorious in her splendor, she brings with her the elixir of the forest, with precious incense, fragrant and sweetly scented. The mountain is purified, the forest is purified, the waters are purified, the animals are purified, the deities are purified, the spirits are purified, the ancestors are purified, our lineages are purified, our homes are purified, our families are purified, our friends are purified, our children are purified, my life force is purified, your life force is purified, obstacles removed, wounds are healed, good words are spoken. All around us is purified, is purified, is purified. I know we are all so very ready to be purified of the many different harsh stings of 2020. And we want that purification. And I'd like us all to consider that the entire year of 2021 is going to be that purification. Probably not going to happen overnight. Probably is going to need a whole year before we really understand and can get sufficient distance to see what has happened in 2020. And as those knowings come upon us over the next year, it's very important that we not get stuck in survivor guilt, that we not get stuck in abjection, desperation, but instead that we learn the lesson and take on the learning of the socio-emotional lesson required of us right now for the benefit of all beings and all future generations. So let the healing begin, and let us know that it's going to be a long beginning. And our card today is Thyme, Thyme, but also time. Use your internal compass to cross shifting sands. Ignore outside influences and step proudly in your perfect direction. See coincidence as a guidepost and trust your shyest scout to lead the way. And our theme is joyfulness, uplifting, celebrating, protecting, powering, sustaining, encouraging, and amplifying. Thyme is a really good herb to reduce a fever and to help with labored breathing. If you have a little cold or respiratory thing, I know that this year, the common cold or common respiratory ailments that some of us get in the winter, even if it's just dryness from artificial heating, it makes us nervous, doesn't it? Every time I get like a little, I can't help but have that nervousness that I'm sure many of us share. But really, just plain old kitchen thyme in a tea with some honey and maybe a little lemon can help an awful lot to just clear that, especially if you're a little dry from dry heat in your home, or if you're a little dry from talking a lot on Zoom or on other places where your voice feels a little strained. So that's some practical uses of thyme. But all the things that this booklet said, our guidebook said, I think also really apply here. We are entering a time where the collective is going to be in many ways dictated by the individual. And right now it's really painful because that team-oriented thinking is still in place, but the teams within the collective do not drive the collective. The individual's conduct within the collective is what makes up the collective. So the thing is, it doesn't actually matter what team you're on. What matters is who you're being everywhere you go, no matter what teams might be around you. That is the lesson for today. Be who you are, no matter who anyone else is being or what anyone else is doing. In the future, there can be a restoration of a common ethic within the collective if enough individuals forego team-oriented thinking in favor of being good people of their own accord. And that drive to goodness can be commonly acknowledged even if not everyone is pursuing it in the same way. So we can all get on a path to goodness, and it will not look like the same path to all people, but the entire collective will benefit from it if goodness is what we're committed to. Because there are certain things that fall under the heading of goodness that do not fall under the heading of any specific team in the world. And I'm not just talking political parties, although I easily can see that metaphor, but teams meaning lots of different types of teams that happen. Little social teams, cliques, clatches, groups, organizations, nations, ideologies, then of course political teams. But the reality is everybody who believes in goodness believes that goodness has a few common things like compassion, dignity, kindness, care for those who have less. So let's go in the direction today and going forward of taking the time, the THYME and also the TIME, to understand that who we are is what we all become, and holding ourselves accountable to higher standards than any team would ask of us. So that's our short bit for today. I hope you get something out of it. And now let's dive into Guanyin practice with 3 prostrations before the shrine. Let's take refuge. Namo Gurube. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention. And today we're holding Christine, who's still recovering. We're also holding Jason, who is in the hospital with some heart-related symptoms. He looks to be okay and on the mend, and they're analyzing for what will be his optimum treatment. But we want to hold Jason in our hearts, and of course his wife Caroline, who's concerned for him. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. Let's do our offerings. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guanxi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. And I forgot to do water bowls. Omahum. 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 Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. And let's take up the mala and 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, awakening the beauty, the delight, the wonder of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Quan Shi Yin Pu Sa. 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. 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 Whatever actions you engage in, do not do anything non-dharmic that fails to become the accumulation of merit and wisdom. Do not desire anything other than omniscient Buddhahood and benefiting sentient beings. Do not be attached to anything. Attachment itself is the root of bondage. Do not criticize other teachings and do not disparage people. All the teachings are ultimately indivisible, like the taste of salt. Do not criticize any of the higher or lower vehicles. They are identical in being the path to be journeyed, just like the steps on a staircase. You cannot know another person unless you can perceive with super knowledge, so do not criticize others. In general, all sentient beings are by their very nature spontaneously perfect Buddhas. They possess the essence of enlightenment. Do not examine other people's faults or delusions. Do not examine the limitations of others. Examine how you can change your own. Do not examine the shortcomings of others, but examine your own shortcomings. The greatest of evils is to hold religious prejudice and to criticize other people without knowing their mind. So give up prejudice as if it were poison. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum as we take all of that light and beauty and calm and serenity and healing that we hold in our hearts and send it out into the world. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin. A bow to one another. And a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing everyone a really good day. A good day of getting out there and taking your time to make your decisions. Oh, tomorrow we're going to be reading A Witch's Christmas. So excited.